Hi everyone, we've gotten a bunch of comments and questions from you, and today we're going through the most frequently asked ones. Let's be real, the mouse looks like those basic black ones you find in a school computer lab. I guess that's true. I think we really wanted to have a mix of a prominent design language with the receiver, but also have the objects blend into the desks nicely, which means not putting any lavish design features on them or racing stripes or anything like that, and just having them be these really minimalistic objects. Will there be an ISO version of the keyboard? So for launch, we're just gonna have the JIS and ANSI layout, but ISO is definitely not out of the picture, and we are looking forward to seeing what the community response is and what the demand is for in terms of layouts. A broader range of layouts is definitely the goal, but we're just starting with these two. Is there a wrist rest available for the K1? So yes, at launch we're gonna have a wrist rest sold separately. It's gonna be a silicone wrist rest that elevates your wrist to a more neutral position. Super comfortable for some people. I definitely like it. Also with the 0-degree permutation of the keyboard, having your wrists elevated a bit really helps. A 65% keyboard layout is way too compact. When are we getting at 80%? Keyboard layouts are a preference. Some people like 65%, some people like 60, 75, 80%. So we had to land somewhere on this scale. I think 65% was a really nice match of you have your arrow keys, you also have additional buttons to the right of the enter key. We also still have all the necessary keys to play competitively in FPS gaming. We really also like the compact form factor to save space on your desk while still having it be kind of extravagant in the Y direction, saving space on the X direction to have more space for your mouse and mousepad. What is the knob for? So the knob is for adjusting the actuation point and rapid trigger sensitivity of your keys or keyboard. You can adjust specific key set or the global settings of the keyboard. So that's a quick way to adjust the actuation point or rapid trigger sensitivity of all your keys. You can also adjust the brightness by holding down the brightness key. If you hit FN and rotate the dial, you'll change the profile of the keyboard. You can also enable a live readout of the actuation of every key. So while you're typing, you can see the depth that you're pressing. VU meter app in plans. So basically a small applications that would make it so that you can see the output of your PC audio while it's happening. The keyboard is wired. That's pretty disappointing. Good luck with the next one though. Wireless keyboards are great. I just don't think that it would be very fitting for our keyboard. I think still the trade-offs of a wireless keyboard are too big in terms of reliability and charging it being a static thing that sits on your desk, not moving around. I think a cable solution for now is a more elegant one. Why did you choose 0, 4, and 7 degrees as the typing angle? Typing angle is basically a trade-off in reach and comfort. The steeper the typing angle you have, the more reach you have for the furthest row in the keyboard. Flatter the keyboard is, the more comfort you have with your wrist being in a more neutral position, giving you less strain over time. It's basically a preference. We picked 3 points to have it on, 0 being completely flat, which is quite unique to our keyboard, and we thought it would be really interesting to see how people would use this. It being something that we use internally and are really happy with. Especially with a wrist rest, it creates this quite pleasant experience. 4 degrees are somewhat of a standard. I think this would be your middle of the road trade-off between comfort and reach, while 7 degrees makes the keys a bit more accessible and gives you a bit further reach than with the trade-off of maybe giving you a bit more strain over time. I think you guys know what's best for yourself, but you can try them all out. Why did you choose aluminum for the keyboard? Anodized aluminum is a super durable finish and really resilient for scratches. We think our material and finish is super nice for everyday use, something that you're gonna touch every day, and we wanted that to have a super premium feel and the weight to also match this feeling. How many settings can I change in the software? In the software, you can basically change all the parameters of the keyboard. You can change the actuation point and rapid trigger settings, as well as the more advanced settings such as last input SOCD, depth-based SOCD. There's also gamepad emulation. You can adjust your macros and your bindings creating a really customized experience to your liking. So web-based software is just great for having it be accessible on multiple PCs without having to download anything. We really wanted to have this experience of portability, and having web-based software is a big part of that journey. The dial looks like Fuji's camera dial. Basically, we took a lot of inspiration from everyday tools and products that aren't gaming accessories as well. And this was one of them. Having something to adjust that is more tactile and really reliable and really obvious in a sense. We wanted to have something that was just there in reach, that you can quickly adjust or just quickly glance at to check that your settings are correct. Adjusting the polling rate, for example, going between games and everyday use, or adjusting the DPI between two states, which you have for two different games, stuff like that. Really helps in day-to-day use. Please also add angle tune. This mouse looks fantastic. This feature is often overseen but very useful. We are already on it. We're looking into sensor rotation as one of the top features for our mouse coming out later this year. Sensor rotation basically allows you to adjust the input and how it translates into your game, making the mouse feel at an angle. And this can obviously be quite impactful for how you play with the mouse. And for some, it could be really a nice change. Can't wait for the K1. Sadly, I don't think the jump from the Super Strike to the M1 would be big enough. Inductive switches are so nice. So we definitely think haptic technology is super cool as well, but we didn't see it fit the M1 super nicely. There's definitely still some trade-offs with the technology in terms of weight balance and the tactility of it, where we wanted to have something that is really tried and true. And that's why we went for the Omron opticals. We're following haptics closely, and as the technology matures, we're definitely gonna consider bringing it to future products. What options am I able to change in the software for the mouse? In the WALLHACK terminal, you're able to change your DPI and polling rate, just as you are on the receiver. You can also change motion sync settings, your lift-off distance. You can check for firmware updates, and you're also gonna be able to control more advanced settings. And we have a lot of other things planned for the software going forward. Why can't I connect a USB-C cord to the mouse? For the M1, we really wanted to focus on a fully wireless experience, meaning that we wanted to emphasize the battery hot swap system and lean less on traditional methods of charging. And that's why we made the USB-C redundant by having our battery hot swap system. Basically, you are able to fully charge your mouse by just swapping your dead battery for a new one in the receiver. If I lose the dongle, will I lose my mouse? Depending on the circumstances, I don't know how you lost your mouse, but if you do, there is a way of pairing it to a new receiver. Obviously, this would most likely be something that we will be helping you out with through our customer service. Right now, the M1 is sold together with the receiver, and we really hope if something like this happens that you contact our customer support and let us help out with it. This shouldn't be something that you should be bothered with. How much does the mouse weigh? It's 53 grams, which we found to be a great balance between rigidity and it being lightweight. Basically, we wanted to have our mouse feel super stiff and solid without any compromise to the structure, but we still wanted to have it lightweight. Competitor mice at the lower weight range usually also feels a bit too flimsy and sometimes buckle under pressure, where for the M1 we really wanted to feel like a stone in your hand while still being lightweight. Is there a coating on the M1? Yes, there is a coating on the M1. We actually have a couple of coatings. We have a pre-coating that protects the magnesium from oxidizing. Then we have a main layer, which is the main color that you see, as well as a finishing abrasive resistant layer that protects the mouse from minor scratches, as well as having it hold up over time.